Hi, I'm Christine Hanlon from the University of Central Florida, here to talk to you about using an attention-getting device to begin your speech. So in the beginning of a presentation in your introduction, you should always use an attention-getting device to create impact and get the audience's attention. I call this the open with impact. And impact is an acronym. And so let's go over that acronym so you can understand exactly what I'm talking about when I say you need to open with impact. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you here. Here we are. There we go. So to open with impact, like I said, it is an acronym. The I is for intentional, interesting, and inviting. Your open with impact should be something that is intentional. So it's something that you have done on purpose. It should be interesting, and it should be creating interest for your audience to listen to you. It should also be inviting. So you're inviting the audience to listen, you're encouraging them to listen to you for your presentation. The M stands for motivating. So motivating the audience to listen to you. Motivation is absolutely key for a presentation. When we talk about the ELM, the elaboration likelihood model, we talk about the fact that motivation is absolutely key to keeping people in the central route. So if you want your audience to be central route oriented, you need to motivate them to listen to you. The P is for planned and practiced. So you will always want to make sure that you're planning and practicing your presentation. The great thing about the Open with Impact is that likely it will be the most planned and practiced part of your speech because it's the very first thing you do. And whenever you're practicing, if you mess up, what do? You go back and you start at the beginning. So which part of your speech will be the most planned and practiced? Well, it's very likely that it will be your Open with Impact. The next one is the A. The A is for attention getting. So getting the attention of the audience. A lot of the times people think this has to be with your words, but it also has to do with how you say things. So how you say things makes a big difference. And in a speech to open with impact, you always want to make sure that you're speaking loudly. And so sometimes we get nervous and we naturally talk a little bit softer than we normally do. But with an open with impact, you intentionally want to increase your volume so you're more attention getting. It should be the highest part of your speech in terms of the energy level of your presentation. The next one is the C. That goes with the continuity of the overall message. It should have something to do with what you're talking about. Sometimes people will come up with really strange things and then they'll be like, yeah, well, that's really interesting, but I'm going to tell you about this. And then the audience feels a bit cheated, like, what? What was that? It just came out of left field. It's not a good thing. So always make sure that whatever you're using for your open with impact, it has something to do with your overall message. It introduces us to your topic and gets us interested in it. The final one is the T, and the T is to make sure that you are timely, that you are time sensitive. And this isn't always the case. Keep in mind, this is not a checklist. These are things to consider as you're creating your open with impact. You may be talking about a topic where it's not timely, where you're talking about an older film or something of that nature. So this might not be for every open with impact, but in general, we want to think about the timeliness of what we're talking about. If you're stating statistics as your open with impact, they need to be time sensitive. So if we're talking about the coronavirus, for example, and you wanted to talk about, some stats about a different virus that happened, decades ago, maybe that wouldn't be as timely as talking about statistics from nowadays, current information. So we always want to think about trying to be timely with our open with impact. So now you understand how we open with impact. Hopefully this will help you to develop your presentation, have a great introduction, and beware of any of those kind of boring, generic types of greetings that sometimes people have a tendency to use. Don't be one of those people. Make sure that you surely open with impact and have a really effective introduction for your presentation.